So over the past couple of days, I have bought two new pairs of headphones. I bought first the Shure SRH440s, which are kind of an entry-level studio monitor headphone. And then I also ended up buying the Shure SRH840s because B&H put them on a pretty big sale the day after I bought the 440. So while I have both boxes in front of me, I wanted to do just a little video on kind of what the difference is between a headphone like this, which is very entry-level, and a headphone like this, which is like the next evolution of the same headphones. And more importantly, I want to dig a little bit into why, if you're a podcaster or a YouTuber or a content creator, maybe, why you should be getting a pair of monitoring headphones and not just using normal headphones for your audio. The reason for that really is just because these headphones are designed to give you an accurate sound, and these are now what I use in order to do all of my editing for my clients, for my wedding videos, for my podcast that I help produce, because what they do essentially, they give you a very flat sound. So that when I'm working in audio, and if I'm trying to equalize, okay, which equalization is just bringing up the lower and higher frequencies or cutting them out, you're trying to do stuff like that, you aren't getting any sort of false information through your ears, basically, because a lot of headphones that you're going to have, like AirPods, like JBLs, like Bose headphones, noise-canceling headphones, anything like that that are generally targeted to consumers, they're always going to have some sort of boosted bass, or they're going to have like bright and punchy highs. And the problem with that when you are doing any sort of audio work is that you're just not getting an accurate picture or an accurate sound picture of whatever your audio actually sounds like. So then if you adjust everything according to these headphones, you're not going to overcompensate for what your headphones are already doing to the audio. For example, if you get a pair of JBL headphones or JBL speakers, and that's what's hooked up to your computer, and you're using that to edit a podcast, well, if they have really boosted bass, what might happen is that in post, you might start to bring the bass down because you're like, wow, why does this guy's voice sound so bassy? Especially if you have a male and a female vocal on the same track, you really might start to be like, okay, I gotta really, well, first of all, you shouldn't have both those on the same track, but you really might start to be like, what the heck is going on here? Like, I need to take the bass out of this guy's voice. And what you're gonna do is you're either going to start to cut out low frequencies or you're going to raise up high frequencies. And what's ultimately going to happen is that then you're going to put out this podcast or this video or whatever it may be, and you get these boxes out of the way here. And then you're going to be putting that out, and somebody that does not have those same bass boosted speakers as you is going to listen to the same audio and be like, why are the high frequencies so crazy? Or why is there no bass frequencies in these things? Why do they seem so low? They probably won't think that exact thing, but they'll think something along those lines. They'll be like, wow, this audio sounds weird. They won't know why, but they'll know that it sounds weird. If someone does listen to it with the JBLs or the Boses or the Shures or whatever of the world that have boosted bass in them, the bass is going to be boosted. It's simply going to be that. It's going to be boosted just as much as the headphones want it to be. That's the whole point of the headphones. If somebody bought headphones that on the box that said boosted bass, they're going to expect boosted bass. Likewise, if they have any other headphones for some reason, boosted bass is normally the thing, but if they have some other type of headphones, then they're expecting these really bright, punchy, airy, high frequencies, well, then that's exactly what they're going to get, and they're going to be expecting it that way. These studio monitors are also good for monitoring your audio when you're doing something like I'm doing right now, talking into a microphone. If you run them into your audio recorder, in my case, I have these currently plugged into the Zoom H6, and it's how I'm hearing myself through this microphone right now. So they can be used for you wedding filmmakers out there or anything else of that nature if you want to monitor exactly how the audio that you're capturing sounds. Now, I don't think I would take these and use them at a wedding for like the DJ soundboard or anything like that. Usually I have literally a $2 pair of earbuds that I use for that, basically just to make sure that the audio recorder is picking up sound, because frankly, it doesn't matter how accurate that sound is to me, because I'm not telling the DJ how to mix my dialogue audio in that exact moment. That's just stupid. I just want to make sure that I'm getting the audio, basically, is all that I want to do in that situation. And usually it is just dialogue, so they shouldn't be doing too much crazy stuff in that situation anyway. But you can use them for things like that. Or if you have a podcast of your own, especially if there's more than one person involved, or even if it's just you, you can hear exactly how you're going to sound. Now, I'm personally, even as into podcasting as I am, I don't have any sort of mixer or equalization or anything like that really going on in the recording process. Like I said, I'm using the Zoom H6, so I have some compression going on, I have a limiter going on, but I don't have any like real voice enhancing stuff going on. I do a lot of that in post still, just to save some money on the Rodecaster that I would be buying most likely otherwise. But that kind of thing too, it really comes in handy with these, because if you are in a situation where you can be doing something like that, well, then there you go. There you have it. You can start playing around with the equalization on your mixer and you can hear exactly what you sound like in real time. So when it comes to actually buying a pair of studio monitor headphones, how do you decide between something like the Shure SRH440s or the Shure SRH840s, or really any other brand? I bought Shure because I like Shure. I trusted them. They were recommended by a bunch of people, but you can find studio monitor headphones from a bunch of different places. But really what you're going to get is a lot of build quality when you're looking into headphones. You're going to get some that are more comfortable than others. The sound quality when it comes to monitors, I don't know if this is a popular opinion or not, but it doesn't seem to matter too much outside of what frequencies can the headphones actually pick up or actually going to register and that kind of thing. Because I notice on these two boxes here that the SRH840s do not look in the picture like they do on my head, first of all. But the H840s, right on the box there, it says professional monitoring headphones. The 440s say that they're professional studio headphones. So they do not actually market the 440s as monitoring headphones because they are basically enhanced for monitoring, but not specifically designed for that. The 440s are designed for home and studio recording, whereas the 840s are optimized for critical listening and studio monitoring. So you can even hear through all this language that they're just a little bit different. And then when I go to the specifications on the back of the boxes, I notice these, first of all, what's in the box, they come with, the 840s are a little bit more comfortable. They come with an extra pair of ear pads in the box, so that's kind of a nice to have, but it's not, I wouldn't say, the reason to buy the 840s over the 440s. Now the 440s, they have an enhanced frequency response. In the box, they come with all the same stuff minus the ear pads and the, what was the other thing that I said? Or they don't have like an extra padded headband or something like that, which if you're me, you don't care. If you have a sensitive head or something, maybe you do, but they don't come with that. Everything else, albeit, is pretty much the same. The cable length is the same. I mean, the connections are the same. You're going to get a 3.5mm jack with both of them. You're going to get a 1/4" adapter for both of them. So if you're into music, I tried plugging these into my guitar last night. I plugged them into my keyboard last night because I do that as a hobby, and nobody really, well, a lot of people that I know personally know about it, but that's not something that I share with the world too much. But those are the kinds of things that you're going to be looking for. The only real difference that I notice in the specific specifications, I guess that's why they're called specifications on here, is that the 440s have a frequency range of 10 hertz up to 22 kilohertz, whereas the 840s have a frequency range that I cannot find of 5 hertz up to 25 kilohertz. So you've got 5 more hertz on the low end and 3 extra kilohertz on the high end. So basically what that means in a very oversimplified way is that the 840s have slightly more range when it comes to high and low frequencies than the 440s have. Outside of that, I would say you can largely go based on price when it comes to how good studio monitoring headphones are going to be for your use. And if you are watching this video, you are probably not someone that does this in an insanely professional setting. You are probably someone that has a small business that does video production, that does podcast production, maybe even just does video editing. But I've been doing this for so long now, and I can't tell you how many times, in all honesty, I have posted a video and kind of realized afterwards, like, oh, it's way too quiet. But it didn't sound that quiet when I was editing it, because I'd be editing it with like a sound bar where I could crank up the volume so loud on the sound bar that it just fixed itself, but the audio itself was not produced properly. Okay, I could also boost the bass on my sound bar, boost the bass on my sound bar, or boost the highs, boost the lows, do all that type of things, you know, crank up the subwoofer, just all this crazy stuff on the soundbar. And then I do have other headphones that I use, but like I said, if you're using AirPods or something, the audio is already being processed just because those headphones are designed to give just that little bit of extra punch in either the highs or the lows or whatever when you buy the headphones, and people love that type of stuff anyway. So it's almost like, well, why wouldn't we just produce the music or produce the podcast or whatever with the extra punch? Just produce it to what sounds good in studio monitor headphones or studio monitors, if you can sound treat your room and all that type of stuff, and everything will go over just fine. If you want to buy either of these pairs of headphones for any reason, I'll try to remember to put a link to them down in the description below. I am probably not going to sign up for any sort of affiliate programs between now and when I post this video, so they're actually not affiliate links. I'm just trying to help you guys out. The reason I bought these in the first place, by the way, I guess I didn't really get into that. I bought the 440s first just because I wanted monitoring headphones that would give me at least a mostly flat response so that I could stop screwing up podcasts all the time and having to go back and do them again and this, that, and the other. And so I bought the 440s, and basically there were like logistical issues with them. And then B&H put the 840s on sale the day after I put the 440s. So I got them both for the exact same price. And so I'm probably going to end up returning the 440s, honestly, is what's going to end up happening because I got the 840s for the exact same price. But in case you're wondering why I bought both pairs, that's the reason why. And the only other thing I can think of is that if I were to start podcasting again, which is always an idea in my mind, don't know if it'll ever happen, it's really nice to have these studio monitors for myself and whoever else may be on the podcast to wear and hear ourselves. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I might make a whole other video just on just babbling and ranting about why you should absolutely wear headphones of some sort to monitor your audio during a podcast. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys a lot. I appreciate it if you made it this far through this rambly video.